Do you love me as much as you say you do? Have you ever seen a candle the shape of a watermelon?
No, but I saw one the shape of a lemon.
Or even though I can't ever be around her again, that I could hear her.
Do you know anybody by the name of Jeff E. Fowl?
This is something that I listen to because it's like one of the only times that I can like hear her voice. I wish that I could even just like talk to her, like a phone call or something. I'm not sure what that cult is called. I guess it's the Hindus or something. They believe that if you fuck up too much, you come back as an insect or something. Don't fuck up too bad, and you won't come back as a fucking piece of shit. Which is what I've encountered a lot in my life. My name is Jason Brennan. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona, but I was raised in Hollywood, California. My mom raised me and my sister without my dad. My dad died when I was 15. It kind of fucked up all kinds of stuff, for me anyways. I was homeless from the early 90s until like the late 90s. I spent about 8 years on the streets, homeless and addicted to heroin most of the time. I have been a piece of shit in my life because I've been a strung out junkie who was willing to fuck over my grandmother, or I would fuck over anybody to get my bag. The first time I did heroin, I had decided that there was nothing else that would measure up to it. It just consumes you. And that's when I met Lisa. Lisa, the reason I'm here is because of her. I was nobody to her. I was just some guy on the streets. I told her straight out, like, you don't want to fuck around. There's just all kinds of reasons not to fuck with somebody like me. The whole lifestyle, shooting dope, having to deal with dealers and drugs and cops and twisted, fucked up people. Every day is just funkiness. I knew she was a good person. I didn't want to subject her. She had this little car. She would come to hang out with me, She'd come from work every day. We just like listening to music over and over and over. I fell in love with her. Sorry about that. Come on in. This is my place. I admired her persistence. She didn't ever give up. At the time, there was nobody else that we wanted to be around. We just wanted to be with each other, and that was it. That's all we needed. Lisa taught me how to live like a real person. She loved life. I live out of habit and like fear of dying, and she loved being alive. We used to go to church, not to like hang out with people, but just to go and sit. You know what I mean?
What did you used to think about when you used to go to the church with Lisa?
Just like how grateful I was to just be alive and in a better place. When we met, I was perfectly resigning myself to either a life in prison or staying on the streets or, dead. When I was living with Lisa, I got off of dope. I got a full-time steady job and I started taking care of myself better than really I ever have in my whole life. I guess it starts with this guy. Me and Lisa used to go to the methadone clinic where we first saw this little guy living on top of a filing cabinet. Later on that night, I was thinking, geez, that's not really like how a turtle should live, Because we didn't want him left alone all the time. Lisa's death was the hardest blow to my life that I've ever had. Harder than my dad dying, harder than when my grandfather, who I really cared about, dying. Extensive bowel necrosis. She lost all her functions. I came into the hospital and she was down in the ICU, a tube down her throat, and she was a fucking mess. They had drugged her so that she would be able to deal with the tube. But I mean, Yeah, I mean, you could see in her face, you know. It was on her face, and it haunts me, you know. It haunts me to this day. I still see it. She fucking wanted to live.
You saw one in your mind, the shape of a lemon.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody by the name of Jess E. Fowl?
I'm not liberty to speak.
Do you know a deal by the name of Jess E. Fowl? What says on his social security card is Artemis.
I think the most important reason why I'm grateful for even just knowing her was because she taught me about being persistent, you know, and not giving up on somebody. The things that are coming up in my life, I know I can handle now because of how she helped me. To see myself, you know, giving me the courage to deal with tough things, you know.